everybody. What's going on? This your girl, Bizzle. Welcome. Tonight, September 25th, 2023. It is official Libra season. Bow, 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 bow. Shout out to all the Libras. Libras, this is for you. Shout out to B-Side Productions. B-Side, this is for you. And of course, shout out to myself, T-Biz. Drinking my favorite drink. That's one of those breezy Bahama mamas. Y'all know what's going on and what I'm saying. Listen, we got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to just touch a little bit of past activities that I've been to. I got a chance to go to the Click Fest. I think it was last weekend or 2 weeks ago. Sponsored by Krishan Lampley. If you don't know her wine is in all the stores. It is called Corkscrew Wine. Amazing event. You got to taste wines from different entrepreneurs of color and also different meals of a lot of Chicago-based chefs. Number one was Chef Essie Marie. You taste her salads. They're in Mariano's, Pete's, Walmart Food Basket, and just a whole bunch of chefs. I cannot think of everybody's name right now. They're probably going to get me later on, but the food was good. Again, shout out to Krishan Lampley. She has that event every year, so if you did not get a chance to go this year, go to her Facebook page, Krishan, I think it's CHRISHON Lampley, and check it out. Look at the pictures. Such a beautiful young lady here in our Chicago area. Usually I talk about my song of the month. This song is an old school song. I've been noticing a lot of fellas are coming to terms or they're bringing to the table their transparency and letting you know, ladies, y'all hurting these men out here. And you make it bad for a good woman, such as my sisters and my nieces, and maybe one day my granddaughter. Ladies, we got to do better. Stop hurting our men. I see Tyler Perry is getting beat up for a video he put out about not, I should say black women not holding black men accountable. And picking on them as far as, the salary that they do or what they bring to the table. And a lot of women have attacked him and said, you made money off of all the characters, mainly Mardeer, off of a woman being heartbroken or physically or mentally abused by a male. And so now you're telling us as women that we should be forgiving of a man and just let him do anyway or act anyway towards us. That is not the message that Tyler Perry was putting out. I don't care about you coming to me and saying something because you don't want this. You don't want none of this. But anyway, the song that I picked that speaks out for a lot of our hurt fellas out here is I've Been a Fool by Major Harris. I think that song came out probably in the 80s or 90s. I'm not really sure. But that is my song for the month of September that is almost over in a few days. It's going to be October. So look that up. Go to Amazon Music or YouTube, whatever you got, Apple Music. Put the title in, I've Been a Fool by Major Harris. And again, ladies, we are both a difficult creature to deal with because women, sometimes we do and say some things, Lord have mercy, make a person want to say, "Whoa, I regret knowing this person." And fellas, sometimes you say things, make a lady say, "Ooh, I regret knowing this man." But we all have to do better as a whole. Stick up for your brother, and fellas, stick up for your woman. So that is the song, T-Bizzle's music bite, I've Been a Fool by Major Harris. I want to go ahead and bring my guests on, because we don't have much time, but I got some hot topics tonight. So this young lady, oh my God, she is one of my favorite guests. I've had a lot of guests on the show, but she is one of my favorite guests on the show. And I met her through Alice Boswell. If you don't know who Alice is, Google her or go to YouTube or Facebook and type in Pieces of Alice or Alice Boswell, and you will get to know a whole lot about Alice Boswell. I want to bring my guest on. Everybody say hi to my guest, Ria Harris. Ria, where you at, girl? Where you at?
Hey, I'm here. I am
Ooh,
in the place to be. How are
girl.
you?
Girl, listen, I'm ready for the night. I know you ready. We pumped up.
What did you what is it? We stay ready so we don't have to get ready.
That's it. Bow, 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 bow. You know, that's my DJ sound effect. Tonight's everybody, Ria's going to tell you who she is and her event she's got coming up, and then we're going to go ahead and jump on into our topic tonight: toxic parents. Ria, tell everybody who you are and what event you got coming up.
Well, my name is Ria Rai Harris Yarbough, and November 4th, we have the third annual Beyond Beautiful World Pageant at the Atrium in Country Club Hills.
Ooh, it's a
We
nice.
have a wide variety of women coming out. This is a celebration of womanhood. Hashtag leave no queen behind. And it takes a lot of courage to get on that stage. So I would love for people to buy ads, to buy tickets, to come out and support and see this because this is the third year. Trust me when I tell you, in year 10, you're going to wish you were with us on the ground level.
Yeah.
So go to www.beyondbeautifulworld.com. Look at the sponsorship options, the vending options, the tickets, and the ads. Love to have you in the house. Let me know what you need. We get it done.
Yeah, please do that, you all. Go ahead and follow her. Take out your phones and go ahead and follow her on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and of course TikTok. And ladies, we're doing this for you all now. This is something and no return. Ria has a big heart, and she has encouraged and helped a lot of young women along the way. So don't be out here lying on us talking about we not looking out for us, because we are.
Yes, ma'am.
Tonight. Woo! This has been I've been jumping all around with this topic in my head. Tonight we are talking about toxic parents. And the reason I want to talk about this, it is a subject dear to myself and also dear to my guests. Rhea, go ahead and give them an experience that you had, and I'll give my experience, and then we're gonna jump into the topics.
Okay. A few years ago, I wanted to, find out where my percentages are as far as my ethnicity. So I went on to ancestry.com and took the DNA test. Just wanting to know that. I get an email. Hi, my name is so and so, and we are second cousins. I'm like, huh? What happened? What's going on? And I started getting a few emails and I started getting notices from, ancestry saying, okay, so and so is a second or third cousin, whatever. And I only recognized two out of like 25 names. I said, hold on. And
Okay.
so I called my mother and I said, okay, listen, some of your people have done something out here in these streets that's coming back to haunt them. She
Right.
was like, "What are you talking about?" When I told her, I said, "Do you know such and such name?" No. Do you know this name? No. And I mean, she didn't know any of the people either. So the people that reached out to me, one young lady was like, your grandmother and my grandfather are siblings." Hold the phone. I don't know nothing about none of this. What you talking about?
Right.
So it just got really not weird in a bad way because I'm taking you for who you are and I'm not going to sit in judgment of how you got here, but it was just really kind of funky that your parents these parents did not tell their children in some cases the truth and they didn't tell the family for sure
Mhm.
the truth about who's out here with our shared DNA.
Right.
And that's not fair and that's not right.
No, it isn't. It will leave probably a mark on you, for the rest of your life. Not that you're gonna react over it, but it's forever in your memory bank. Like, well, what was y'all doing? What was going on? My situation was I was raised by my dad's parents. Usually, when there's not a marriage or a long term relationship, usually the child always goes to the mother's parents. But in my case, I was raised by my dad's parents. And it was always, everything was always, shh, don't talk about it, don't ask about it. And I got to see my mother maybe twice. I remember once for sure. I was 7 years old, and I was born in Santa Ana, California, and brought here to Chicago, and I grew up in the Pullman area, 10 Trey, and I always felt just this loneliness, even though I had my grandmother Ada Johnson and my grandfather Harry Johnson. I still always felt, what's going on with my mother? Why she don't didn't come look for me, or what's going on? And so I was fortunate enough to have a close family friend, Brenda Gamble, help me locate my mother. And her name is Jacqueline Harrell. And we went to California, and I thought it was going to be like like TV One or Hallmark or something, like BET Plus. Oh, maybe my mama, we gonna cry and all that. Nah, wasn't nothing like that. And um it left a mark on me. Am I bitter behind it? I don't think I'm bitter, but they used to say some secrets are better kept. And I'm feeling now, today, 2023, uh, that maybe I shouldn't have done it. I used to cry. Oh my God, I used to cry myself to sleep. At the time, there weren't tests showing, autism and mental challenges, but I used to do this thing where I used to bump my head or bump it on the floor to as a sign to comfort me and rock me to sleep. And that was something, my mother so they say, because she was a promiscuous woman and would be going to different men's homes, I never had a bed to sleep in. I was always on the floor or on a couch or something. So back in the day, they used to make a pallet, and that's what I would lay on, and that's what I would use. I would go to sleep like this, and to soothe myself and go to sleep. But my grandfather, God rest his soul, Jay, he told my mother at the tender age of 15, 16, you are not doing right by this child, so go ahead and let the child's father raise Teresa. That's my government name. And I'm so fortunate that the Johnson family did that for me. But now, I've connected with my mother again. It wasn't the connection that I thought it was going to be, which is it touched me, it made me even more sadder. But I still love my mother. I still love my mother. I've forgiven her for not raising me. But like I said, just she's 72 now. In her mind and everything, she's not ever gonna. It's not gonna be like TV. She's not gonna tell me why she abandoned me. She has apologized a million and one times for being a horrible mother. But this toxic parent thing leads me to tonight's topic, Ria. I don't know if you guys have been looking at what's trending lately, but gospel renowned singer Kirk Franklin has a special on YouTube, and it's called Father's Day. I think it might be 30 or 40 minutes. And with this special, he found out through DNA results, like you had taken, Rhea, that the father he thought he had was not his father. And his mother, his birth mother, Deborah, has lied to him again about who his father is. He found out who his father is, and he went to go see him, and it was emotional for both of them. And Kirk admitted, he said, "Here I am, I got 17 or 19 Grammys," and he said, "And I still feel as the most insecure man in the world." Rhea, you watched it. What did you think when you saw that?
I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken for Kirk and for his biological father because everyone, and I'm saying that as a generality, not literally everyone, but so many people are so quick to hammer men about abandoning their children and not being there and absentee fathers. But here's a man who didn't know and was cheated out of the opportunity of to be a father. And we can't say what he would or would not have been because that was taken from him. It was stolen from him. And to see that man break down in tears on that screen because he told Mr. Franklin, I didn't know. I'd have been there if I knew. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I had to turn it off.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, girl,
I had to turn it off. It hurt my soul.
I got so
And
emotional because I got.
yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. And and then the insult on top of the injury was his biological mother, after being faced with 99.99999925, this is the father, thank you, Maury Povich, for your contribution to the world, to still say, nah, it's not him,
Ooh.
man. But I have learned, and this I've learned from a couple of toxic parents, mothers in particular. Some people have to hold on to the lie because the truth would shatter their souls. Some people, let me say that again. Some people have to hold on to the lie
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the truth, facing that truth, would shatter their souls.
Yeah. And so, I watched because the TikTok is like the newest Netflix, girl. I love me some TikTok, honey. And I watched other people commenting, and one young lady caught my eye with her comment. She said she watched an episode with the famous Ayana Van Zandt. And Ayana had a mother on there, and the mother said she had 8 children. So they were trying to, how she's always trying to fix, and save your life. And so one of the children, the mother still wasn't clicking with. And so Ayana asked the daughter, she said, hey, what's going on? Why are you being so difficult, whatever? She said, I'm not being difficult. She said, we need to have all the siblings here. She said, they're all here. The daughter said, no, it's 10 of us.
I remember that
Yeah.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
yes,
and
that is.
and I kind of said, okay, well, we're gonna get to the bottom of this because you know how she is. People think she's messy. I don't think she is. I think she's the most healing person here. She just put it in your face where you don't like it. But that's the problem. We did that so much in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Everything was shh. And people have carried this toxicity around for years, and you don't know why this person is quiet, or why this person has the chronic bitch face, or why this grandfather was a mother chucker. You just don't know. There's so much hurt and neglect out here, and like you said, if you're not told, it's not like today 2023 with these parents. They be knowing, oh, I don't want it, or they man, or whatever they do. These parents actually didn't know. But for that young lady's case, the young lady mentioned the other 2 children were from being raped. And so I said, maybe this is just, just a maybe. Maybe Kirk's mother, I don't know. Was she raped? Was she hoeing? I mean, what is it that would still make you lie a second time? And she swear, I think she swear on her mama or whoever, and said, no, this ain't true. You tripping. And Kirk told her, he said, ain't no hug, ain't no song, ain't no prayer. He said, I need you to tell little Kirk. You see this in my hand, little Kirk. I need you to tell little Kirk, we gonna get through this. And she couldn't do it. And then she had the audacity to ask him and say, is this gonna put a wedge between us?
Oh, listen, listen.
I mean, what you think? The man is half 100 years old now. Yeah, it's gonna put a wedge in between us. Why would you ask that stupid question?
You know, people always, I used to hear this all the time. It doesn't matter what your mother and your father does. That's your mom and your daddy. But no, that's not quite true
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because being a biological contributor is not the same as being a mother or a father.
Say it again. Say it again, sis. Say
You
it.
know, just because you contributed to my DNA does not mean you contributed to my life. And so when you start talking about relationships, what did you earn? Because just because I passed through your birth canal does not give you quote unquote carte blanche to mistreat me, and then I still hold you in high regard and esteem. Now, if I do so, that's my choice, but not because you earned that right. People have it twisted, in my humble opinion. Just because you have a quote unquote title, you don't have to live up to the obligation of that description for that job. You should. If you
Period.
expect to be honored as a parent, then you should be a parent.
That's
So
all I'm saying.
I,
That's
I,
all I'm
I
saying.
just, I don't know where his mother is coming from with that philosophy. Like I said, I don't know what the situation is. If she has a mental block, if she just tripping, if she just doesn't know and was never really sure from the beginning, I don't know. But whatever it is, when she was faced with the truth to still deny, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, that
Yeah.
that makes it even more hurtful for
Yeah, it
him.
hurt. Yeah, it hurt. And by him being a guy, he didn't because I know I'd have been boo horn. You hear me? I would have been boo horn. Like I asked my mother, I said, well, why didn't you come and look for me? Why didn't, even though you got rejected from my grandmother, because she knew at that time she was able to provide a better life. Because my father, he was my daddy, but he wasn't my father. Did he have sex with my mother and I got here? Sure, all day long. I'm a true Johnson, but was he a good father to me? No, no, he didn't. He did what he bought me one organ and one bike. I was what 11 and maybe 13. But he couldn't do any better because he suffered from not feeling the love he should have got from my grandfather. I didn't find all of this out till later. I mean, it's men are hurting. We got to stop thinking that these men aren't hurting. They hurting, and I believe this is the reason why Kirk has that damaged relationship with his son.
We don't want to be honest. We want men to fill this void for us. We want them to have this particular image, but we don't want to accept what they have endured. We don't
And
want
that's
to give any validity to their pain and their struggles. And I'm like, oh, so you want somebody to cry a river for you, but you won't shed one tear for them. How unfair is that?
that's what we are. We are so rough. We're so rough for one another. And to top that off, there's another person who you probably would never expect in a million years. Famous actress. She's well known for her role in Scandal. And that's Keri Washington. She had an interview. I believe it was on 2020, and she also did another interview with Robin Roberts. I love Robin Roberts. Shout out to Robin Roberts. Beat cancer 3 times. Just got married to her longtime companion. I think earlier this month. So shout out to Robin Roberts from the Buzzin, Bizzle, and B-Side Productions. She interviewed Keri, and Keri has a memoir out called "Thicker Than Water." And so what her memoir about is she's wrapping up. You got to watch the interview. If you didn't watch it, everybody go to YouTube or go to TikTok and watch the interview. Google it. I'm sure it's all over now. But Robin Robbins said, "Well, what happened? What made you start this book? I'm sorry, this memoir." And she said she was wrapping up Scandal, through for the season, and she gets a text from her mother. And Keri says her family is not the family that does, the text thing and the, hey, how you doing, daughter? All of that. And she said in the text, her mother said, I need to see you. We need to talk. And she said, she was like, huh? You need to see me. We need to talk. Oh, okay. Whatever. So she went home and she told her husband, Ria, she said, babe, I gotta go, see my parents, see what they talking about. Because my mother has, asked me to come home. He's like, okay, go. So she go home and she said she go in, Ria, and her mother's sitting there, smiling. You know how moms are. Hey, baby, come on, sugar. Yeah. And, the dad sitting in the background. You know how dads are. Hey, baby girl, whatever. And her mother say, sit down. We need to tell you something. And on the way, to this trip with her parents, she said her little spidey sense was like, yeah, something going on. And she said her mother told her, we need to tell you, uh, the man who raised you, that's not your real daddy. Your father was a sperm donor. Bow, 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 bow. And Keri said she's always felt this unidentifiable, I don't even know how to describe it, because this unidentifiable, who am I? And now she knows why.
I was really intrigued by the timing because I only saw part of the interview, the part that the clip you sent me.
Okay.
But my first thought was, what happened that they needed to tell her right now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my second thought was, now I don't know how you explain having a sperm donor to a 6-year-old. I get that. I get that might be a little tricky.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at a point before now, you know,
you know, because I
that
think she's in her late 40s too, 50s
right,
too.
she's has a little seasoning on the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Why we couldn't do this like 18-ish, hey baby, and it's similar to me, the conversation about adoption. Hey, listen, we chose you, we love you, but there is something you need to know, because medically speaking, let's get to some hard whole truths. I feel everyone has the right to know their medical history.
Right, correct.
If I need a kidney or whatever, and I go and, daddy, can you give me a kidney? Well, nah, baby, I don't even need to get tested. What you mean? you know, and that's how the truth comes out. You want to have these situations coming up. So again, I don't know the full story as to why her parents waited that late to tell her and what was the catalyst for telling her. But I just feel like she was owed that explanation much sooner than she got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I
I am
agree.
grateful she got it at all, because some people went to the grave not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was what she was grateful for, but again, she said she couldn't figure out why through the course of her, whole modeling and acting career, why she just felt this void. And that basically explained everything. And it just makes me wonder, were our family members back in the day, I mean, because there was always plenty of adulterous affairs. We're not going to always use that as an excuse, but that's like they say in the Bible. That's normal. But how many of our people, of our ancestors, were raped? Were just, how many of these, one night stand babies, or how many of these molestation within the family has happened, and it's making our people numb. I couldn't imagine being either one of them, because I used to feel my story was, oh my god, so sad. My story ain't nothing.
Well, you know what? one of the things about the Black community is we are so used to being in a state of trauma that it is normalized for us to have wild stuff popping up here and there all the time.
Yeah.
But it honestly should not be normal. You should be able to look at people and say, that's my mother, and I'm real clear about that.
Right.
Or that's my mother who adopted me, and I'm real clear about that. Whatever the case is, we everyone is owed the truth, but we have gotten comfortable with hiding behind the lie. And without, I don't want to say no one regarded, but not caring as much about the outcome
I think so.
for the children. And I mean, I've remember I used to be at domestic violence court when I was a probation officer,
Okay.
and I can't tell you how many fathers came in there heartbroken. A, finding out that the child they've been raising all this time was not their biological child.
Mm.
B, having a biological child, but due to whatever issues, and some of the issues were severe, some of the issues were made up. That's a topic for another day.
Okay.
But the children were on the orders of protection, and therefore they couldn't see their children with whom they had had a relationship for typically 2 years.
Mm.
And thinking about it from a child's perspective, I don't know if I would have understood at 8 that my father was going to be gone for 2 years and nobody told me why.
Mhm.
I don't think I would have understood why my father was all kind of MFs all of a sudden.
Mhm. Mhm.
And all this poisoning that some people do. Some parents, some grandparents co-sign, some aunts and uncles co-sign. Girl, your father ain't nothing but a low down, dirty son of a gun and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Without remembering part of that child is that low down, no good son of a gun you're talking about. So then you are getting into the destruction of that child's psyche that you claim you love.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we just haven't done a deep dive evaluation of actions and consequences.
Okay. Okay. That's a good way. That's a very good way to put it. I just think I don't know, cousin, because Rhea, I'm just so I'm taken back. I guess I shouldn't be, but I'm taken back because again, I had I did the advertising, for us tonight, and I was saying you never know a person's story and what they're going through, because if you notice, some people are just, I don't want to say evil, but you got people out here that they just rude. They nobody's saying good morning, nobody's saying good night. You're grunting at each other. Whereas the black race, I won't say African American, I'm gonna say black, the
Yes,
black or the
yes,
colored race.
please. Yes,
Thank you.
please.
Because I mean, I'm just saying, I don't have nobody from Africa, but whatever. That's another show for another topic. But the black race is so hard pitted against one another. Whereas I remember as a little girl, it was nothing for uh, an adult to be like, "Hey, little lady," and you didn't have to worry about this adult, kidnapping me, or taking my body for organs or whatever. Not saying they didn't do it, but I'm just saying it wasn't
President.
as yeah prevalent as it is now. Or a black woman would be, "Hey girl, that's cute what you got on," and it wasn't homophobic. She said I'm cute. Is she like me? Is she gay? I'm gay. Sometimes when I say hi to women, they be like, "Oh, she like me." I be like, "Girl, I just said hi. I ain't said shit about I like you." Man, I just walk. I'm just walking in the door to say hello. I don't want to sleep with every woman that I say hello to. Damn. And the same for men. Brothers will go up to each other. Hey, what's happening, brother? Do that soul glow shake and get in they get in they Buicks, and they Regals and they Rivieras and pump their music with their platforms on. We just had a close culture, and we don't have that anymore, due to all of these secrets. And a lot of them is, the point that you just made. The parents hiding all this information. And then you grow up and you get 40, 50, and 60 and realize, damn, my daddy got 12 other kids? Or, damn, my mama was out there hoeing like that? And
Can
it
I
make you
can I
say,
tell you a story from my probation days?
yes, go ahead.
I had a male client, and he was one of those laid back clients. He wasn't one of them ruckus, he was just, got caught up doing some little stupid stuff.
Okay.
And he came to the office one day and he was so sad. I said, "Are you okay? What's going on?" He said, "My dad died." I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Between his reporting time, his dad had died. I said, "My condolences." He said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I knew my father had other children." I said, "Okay." He pulled out the obituary. He said, "But I didn't know like this."
Oh.
He had 54 children listed on the obituary.
Did it say at the bottom he had something? He was the creator of Papa was a Rolling Stone. What? 54?
54. So, there were multiple children, every year for quite some time.
Daddy was a loose cannon, huh?
And my client was so upset. He was like, "What if I would have met one of these girls and would have dated them?" He said, "I still don't know everybody on this list." And I looked at him
Mm,
and I
mm.
did not have an answer.
Look, that's the first time you ever been stuck, right?
Uh, One of the very few.
Cause
Because
you
what
gonna
do you
get
tell
stuck.
somebody who's showing you an obituary with tears in their eyes? Again, the insult and the injury. My father is dead, which is the initial hurt. And then to find out, I thought I had, maybe, 10, 15 siblings, and I
A
actually
little
have
something.
54.
Ooh.
And somebody had to know because he was dead. So whoever wrote this knew
All the tea.
and never told all those children
Mm,
that they were related. And it
mm.
wasn't fair and it wasn't right. And it could have turned out really bad. I'll give you a funny lighter note. My son was 2, so this had to be 1997. We went to Natchez, Mississippi
Okay.
for my mama Nim's family reunion.
Oh,
Okay,
mama, yeah. Come on, girl.
mama Nim. Now my
Mama, yeah.
mother's parents had moved to New Orleans when my mother went to college, so I didn't go to Natchez a lot growing up. We would bypass Natchez and go to New Orleans to see that branch of the family. So most of those people, if they had ever seen me, I was really, really young when they had seen me. So we're at the reunion, and when I tell you this man was coming on with the girl, not only will I make your bath water, I'll drink it dirty. He was coming with the whole
Old school
shebang.
player. Okay, come on.
Yes. And my cousin Benjamin, who I did know, may his soul rest in peace, walked up and said, "Hey man," you know how they talk, "Hey man,
Mhm.
she family, right? She in here." He said, "I don't know what." He said, "If she in here,
Yeah.
she family, boy. This
Right,
Lizbeth's
fool.
daughter. This Lizbeth's child." He said, "I ain't never seen her." He said, "Boy, man, she here. She either blood or she married to blood. Fall back."
Right, right. Cut it out.
And I promise, because I didn't know him from a can of paint. But Benjamin was like, we're not gonna have none of that.
Right. Slow
We're
down,
not
Jeff.
gonna have we're not gonna have no mistakes and misunderstandings around here.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I always appreciated that because he could have been like, well, they ain't that close to cousins, whatever.
Cause you
And
got,
some people get down like that.
I done heard people say that. Well, that ain't my cousin. So, cause I used to work with this guy. I won't tell his name, but he used to work at we used to work together at this famous candy company. I won't name the candy company either because that'll tell it all. But we used to work together at this candy company in the south side of Chicago. And he told me, he said he had met this young lady, and oh my God, this young lady was everything to him. And like you said, we went to a family reunion and they was just juking. Oh, he said they was juking. I think he said he was like 16 and she might have been 14. He said every chance they got, they was juking. He couldn't wait, just juking. Found out that was his cousin. he he said he told me, he said, we still juked even more after we but he said it wasn't his cousin. It was a distant cousin. I'm like, all I heard in my
Mm-mm.
mind was, you screwing your cousin, I
Listen,
will never forget that. That was my homeboy, but he stopped because he he wound up later on in life giving his life over to the Lord, and he
thank
repented
you.
for that.
That's
Yeah,
right.
when
Repent
he
for that
told me that
sin,
story,
sir.
girl, look, when he told me that story, he said, sis, I ain't nasty. He said, but back then, he said I wasn't saved then. He said, boy, I was juking my cousin. I said, okay, all right, I got you. I understand. That was
No,
before knew.
no. I paid my mother told me you out here paying for genealogies, people trying to get a damn peanut butter sandwich. I said, listen, I got to do what I got to do. So I paid a genealogist to help me,
Oh, yeah.
track down what everything was. And I tell everybody, if we have somebody common on this tree, that means we are related.
Period.
And we can't go no further than that right there.
That's it.
That's
That's it.
it.
Leave it
And
alone.
like I said, the DNA cousins, as I call them, 'cause I don't know them, but I'm like,
Did you say the
whoever
DNA cut?
the DNA cousins, yes, the DNA cousins, the ones
Oh
that
my
are on the ancestry, girl, how you doing? How you doing? That's cool, but we have a common ancestor somewhere. That's enough.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm disappointed because the first young lady that did email me, like I said, when we found out how we were connected, I told my mother, I'm so disappointed because all you didn't even know.
Mm,
You didn't even know. And that's your
no.
first cousin. You didn't know what was going on. I said, but this could have come back to haunt somebody.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
truth, the truth was gonna walk out the closet full bones with a suit on. And who
It's
was going to answer for that sin, that problem, would have been the children that y'all created out here in this hot mess.
mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm.
children are the ones that always suffer from these multi-generational lies that we tell.
All the time. You talk about generational curse. The
Yeah.
generation lie is the worst. You
Oh
understand me?
yeah. Yeah,
It's
because
the worst.
how often does the grandmother know all of her son's children, knowing that they all don't all know each other?
See, and you sit back and you look at that and you going,
And you
so
justify
you
it.
knew, yeah, you knew,
And
and
justify this
nobody
mess.
tell. Yeah,
Yeah. It's not fair. And when I think about just how easy it is in my mind, because I don't like to go to sleep with burdens on my soul.
I know I don't.
My mother taught me that. She said, when I lay myself down to sleep, and Lord, if I don't wake up, I sure don't want to go with some mess on my mind.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
So when I think about just what I owe my son, I owe him, if nothing else, cousin, I owe him the truth
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
about everything.
Yeah.
And depending on his age and his life, there's been times I told him when he was young, that's a conversation you're too young for us to have. But I promise you, when I know that you're old enough and ready, we'll have it.
That's it.
And we did, because I was not a perfect mama, and I'm still not a perfect mother. My son just turned 28, and I'm still some days like, Lord help me.
Girl, no, you don't get there isn't a book. We couldn't Google
No,
it, and you still can't Google it on how to be a good parent. And a matter
but
of fact, I'm too honest with my kids. I think I'm too damn honest, but yeah,
but you owe them that.
yeah, oh
Even
yeah,
if it's the truth. I told my son, he was like, "You supposed to be on my side." I said, "I'm on your side against everybody but Jesus."
there it
I said,
is.
but be clear, but I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And if you're wrong,
Oh
you
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, period. Yeah, you
Because
you
I'm
have
your
to.
mother and I love you. But and if I'm wrong, I expect you respectfully to tell me I'm wrong.
Let me
But
know.
we have to have that type of dialogue so that these big bones don't come walking out the closet. I'm telling you, because people are hurt.
Oh my
And
God.
it's a pain, like Keri said about that feeling of something not being quite right for decades.
Yeah.
That may have been part of why she was suffering from that eating disorder.
You know that you do not know. How do I want to word this? I'm gonna try to get deep on y'all tonight with Buzz and Bizzle. You do not know the internal hell that someone's soul is feeling. And with all of these secrets and darkness, and then for it to come out, like I said, whether you famous or not, or almost famous, like us, you know what I mean? We out here, we ain't on BET yet, but if it's hurting us, hell yeah, it's hurting the next person. You understand what I'm saying? And I just want us. I know you probably didn't already did it or finna do it before you go to bed, but I want us to think about this, everybody. Really think about this long and hard. And if you can, if you have the money to do it or the technology to do it, whatever, go ahead and research your family history. And like I said, it won't be like I thought it was. It wasn't a Hallmark moment, and it wasn't a Tyler Perry movie moment. But I still love my mother. I know who my mother is. My poor dad, he was murdered. I didn't get a chance to tell him I love him, and oh my God, that was in, oh my God, probably early 2000, or maybe late 90s when my
Okay.
dad was murdered. But um love on your parents, because I'm telling y'all, when they gone and we crying, because it's this thing going on. I just want to say this really quick. I get it. I get social media. I really do. But I see this new posting thing that we're doing. Well, happy birthday in heaven. Y'all, I wish y'all would stop doing that. I made a mistake and I did it. And I was like, ain't like she gonna call me and tell me she saw the post. So I'm just trying to figure, and I get it.
Listen,
I get the hurt, I get the loneliness, but I'm already paranoid that I've got friends that have died or were murdered. A lot of high school friends that died from cancer at a very young age, 40, 50. And I'm paranoid, like, do I take it off my Facebook feed? But ain't like they gonna give me back and be like, girl, I saw you take it off your
listen.
but girl, it,
I
it, it, it make me
no.
girl, it make me
I
nervous.
it we have to. I let people do what they feel they need to do through their healing and grieving process. It's not
Yes.
for me. It is not for me. I don't do it. But can you imagine taking us back to what we started with, grieving somebody and then finding out they weren't even yours
Ooh,
biologically?
that hurt.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That hurt.
I'll
That hurt.
take an ugly truth over a pretty lie any day.
Ooh. Ooh. Say that again. I don't think that hurt.
I'll take an ugly truth over a pretty lie any day. Let people know. Uh, I'm gonna tell you this, and I know we have to go. I
Yeah.
have an associate whose sister had a little baby. She fell out with the child's father, so we called him the father. She had named the child, blah blah Junior.
Hmm.
So they go to child support court, and the judge was like, "Well, that's not his child."
Mm.
So now you gave this child a whole name that isn't his. Here we are. Go to the next man. That wasn't the father either.
I'm
So
gonna just mother. who
we get to do
who
number
that baby
three.
daddy?
We get to do number three, and that's what we find. Three is the charm. And because she dated a particular type of person, the guys looked similar.
Girl, shut up, girl.
Same complexion, same general stuff. So the guys look similar. But your child's name is a man who is not his father and cut him off when
Oh.
he found out. And at that point, he was like 4 or 5 and had been with the man.
Mm.
The
Now
boy is damaged. The
you
boy
know
is
that.
grown now, but
Oh yeah.
he's still, and
Oh,
he's a nice little young guy, but he
baby.
still is hurt and damaged. And I'm not saying it's to beat up on women and to beat up on the sisters. What
No.
I'm saying is it's bigger than you. You owe yourself and your child,
Yeah.
fathers too, the
Mm-hmm.
truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that
You
truth
got to.
is.
Yeah, you got to. Ladies, we got to. I mean, because we good, like we pretend to be so hurt when the men, cheat on us, or whatever, and they get caught. Because men sloppy, they always get caught. And when we cheat, we don't get caught. So that's how a lot of this, I mean, we cold with it. But again, that child winds up getting hurt. And I'm gonna close out two toxic people in the I guess you want to call this the hip hop industry. Uh Blueface, I don't know why he called himself Blueface because he yellow like me. But anyway, Blueface and the young lady, I guess her name is Krishan Rock, I'm not really sure. They had a child. Oh, that's a cute little baby. This fool went and posted his baby's genitals on social media. The baby got a hernia. So the baby probably had, swollen ding ding or swollen testicles. And again, toxic parents. Why you putting your baby PP on social media? What? I don't.
Especially with the pedophilia that is out here. Because somebody is doing something reprehensible while looking at your child's genitalia. I promise you that. And again, although there is not a license for parenting, there sometimes I wonder why there isn't,
Yeah.
because that's something that's going to come back to haunt.
Oh, the baby can't even swipe left or right yet on the tablet, and you gonna have the baby at 20 or whatever, probably 12. Tell my dang, y'all had my little PP on social media in 2023.
And
Why?
and you can't get rid of that. Once you put it out there, you can't retract it because somebody's
It's
going
in
to
the cloud.
screenshot it and it's there forever.
It's in the clouds. And also I want to pray for the family of Caden Ingram, the Caden Ingram. His mother, Fallon Harris. That's on TikTok. You all can look it up or look it up on Google or look it up on YouTube. Killed him. She shot her 12-year-old son, again, toxic parent, in the head over an SD card. I just want to know what was on the card that you had to kill your baby. I'm just, I can't, and I really feel sorry for the Harris and Ingram family because, like one of the family members said, this we not trying to be in the news, like this with this heinous crime, murder, that Fallon did, but she even you'll see the pictures, cousin, where her little boy was taking selfies, cheese and mommy. She called the little boy best friend. You would kill your child. What is
Listen,
wrong with you?
and my mother would say, "Oh, that's somebody that's mentally ill." And I would tell her, "There's a difference. There are mentally ill people." I said, "And then there are people that are Satan's henchmen."
Yeah, yeah. And that's all I'm going with.
And
That's all.
so
That's
I'll have to look at that, but whatever it is,
yeah,
that's horrifying.
yeah. Yeah.
And
But pray.
I pray for the peace of his soul and for his family to overcome this trauma.
I hope so. But you all, Buzzin' Bizzle fans, make sure you pray for that family. Again, that's Caden Ingram. He was only 12 years old. And this toxic parenting. What we can do tonight, my lesson for everybody. Um, and then I'm gonna close out with my Bizzle bite, where we had a saying back in the day: you put your foot in your mouth. But everybody, again, there's no handbook in parenting. But let's try to make sure we aren't toxic parents. If you've been hiding something, from your kids, go ahead and get it out your spirit and get it over with. It's gonna hurt, or it's gonna be happy. But go ahead and get rid of it. Don't go to your grave and had a kid all messed up, and then they 50 and 60. They doing a podcast to my mama messed me up with this toxicity. Um, I'm closing out tonight with Bizzle. You put your foot in your mouth. You remember I used to say that back in the day, cousin? You to put your foot
Yes,
in your
yes,
mouth. The CEO of Neiman Marcus. Let me see if I can pronounce his name.
yes,
uh,
yes.
Geoffrey von Rudnock. I didn't say redneck, so don't nobody be saying that. That's the man's name, okay? He made a comment recently and said he didn't want no poor people shopping in his store. So today, if you go and Google and look it up, Neiman Marcus sales done went down, and they getting ready to close because ain't no poor people shopping at his stuff, and they might wind up selling it to Saks Fifth Avenue. Uh, I just want to tell all the rich people out here, all of y'all, Bed Bath and Body, Neiman Marcus, Tarjay, whoever. Y'all stop putting your foot in your mouth, because the consumer gonna always be me, she, he, whoever, transgender, LGBT, black, Hispanic, whatever. Let us spend our money where we want to spend our money. Because the only person gonna suffer is you and your family. Brad, you got anything you want to tell the people before you leave? You want to tell them again about your event one more time?
Beyond Beautiful World Pageant, third annual event, Saturday, November 4th at the Atrium 4143, 183rd Street and Country Club Hills. Hashtag Leave No Queen Behind. www.beyondbeautifulworld.com. Come out and support. And if you can't physically come out, we also have virtual tickets. And if you can't do that, buy an ad, be a sponsor. We would love to have your support because I promise you,
Mhm.
we going global.
That's it.
We didn't put
Y'all
we didn't
heard
put
it
the
here.
word world in the pageant just as a fashion statement, as they say.
Mhm. Tell them, cuz. Tell them. Thank you so much, Ria. I love you, cuz. I know
Love
you
you
got to
too,
go to bed because
cousin.
you normally in the bed at 6. So I
Listen, my
love you,
husband said
cuz.
you got to love her if you up like this.
Look,
So
tell him I'm sorry.
he all right. He said no, he waiting.
Okay. All right. I love you,
We'll
girl.
talk soon. Love you too.
All
And
right.
tell your fans this: dedicate yourself to the truth, no matter the cost.
Oh, I like that. That's a t-shirt. Dedicate yourself to the truth. Come on, cousin.
No matter the cost.
Ooh, no, that sounds like a gospel song. No matter.
Girl, don't start
Ooh,
singing, having folks
I
jumping.
wish I had an organ here. No matter. All right, y'all. We out. It's Buzzin' Bizzle. Thank you, B-Star Productions. Oh, and tomorrow, come out to 109 William Street. I am associate T-Bizzle of an all-female motorcycle club called Boss MCs. We will be celebrating the Vice President Star's birthday. The address is 109 William Street in Thornton, Illinois, 8 o'clock until midnight. So come on out and celebrate with the Libras. Happy birthday, Star. Love you, cousin. Have a good night. And
You too
everybody,
bad.
say your prayers before you go to bed and don't be toxic. Good night, y'all.
Good night.